Hello, Lords of Arcturus here.
Hello, welcome. Thanks for coming. Anything interesting going on with the Federation?
Yes, always, certainly.
Anything having to do with the Earth?
Yes, certainly.
Anything that would be interesting for us to know?
Well, our processes are underway and have been underway for some time. We don't know that you would find them fascinating. They are very simple. They are connecting humans of like mind and higher consciousness in order to reinforce and empower each through the connection to the whole. And technology is a primary way, the primary way we are achieving this task. It's quite a very natural process. It is not difficult. It's a matter of magnetization and attraction. And every minute of every hour of every day, those who are on a spiritually enlightened path, those who are searching for connection, insight, and enlightenment are finding it. They are finding it every minute of every hour of every day. And they are attracting it. They are magnetizing and bringing to themselves the connection they desire. And with each connection, there is a strengthening of the interwoven matrix of human consciousness. And the interweaving of the consciousness with each added soul and each added connection is strengthening and being refined and becoming more and more impermeable to darkness.
Okay, how about what I will call, because I don't really know, lack of better words, the supposed taking away the ability of some to keep us in an illusion and to control us and try and make us into slaves.
Well, are you a slave?
Not that I know of, but if I'm in a matrix that's controlled so that I am being hypnotized and making it hard for me to be free, then I would say yes.
Are you aware?
I'm aware of many ways in which we are being controlled. Many ways. Probably.
And in what way are you being controlled?
Television, government.
Are you being controlled by television?
I don't know if I am now. I should just say I believe it's a controlling device.
Yes, we would agree with that. Are you being controlled with television?
I would hope not. Maybe a little bit.
We would say you are possibly being influenced by it. And of course, if you are watching it in more relaxed and unaware states, you are more susceptible to be influenced. But you primarily are in awareness about what you are partaking of. But of course, you are correct that many others are being controlled by it. We would say, actually, that is not quite the right way to say it. They're not being controlled by it. They are relinquishing their power to it, and perhaps doing it unaware. But the question is, we understand your question. Here is the answer, short answer. If you are aware of these influences, then you are not subject to the matrix of it. You may be moving in and out of the matrix of lower vibrational states, matrices of television, education, medicine, politics, religion, whatever the various matrices are. You may be moving in and out of those matrices. Whether or not they define you is your choice. If you are awake to the reality of these matrices, then you are not their slave. If you understand that you're creating your reality in every moment, if you believe that to be true, if you give more than mental assent to it, if you have a soul agreement with it, then you understand that whatever the matrices may be, whoever may have created them, no matter how many might be enslaved by them, you are still the creator of your own experience, within or without them, inside them or apart from them. You are still the creator, and you have the capacity to alter the matrices in relationship to yourself.
Yes, I guess I understand that completely, and I agree. I guess I'm talking more about the child that's brought up on TV as a babysitter, the child that's constantly exposed to false information, religion, education, etc. It's like, that child who has no awareness about what's going on, because the people who are bringing him up have no awareness.
That is correct. So children, for the most part, are born. They can be, we are not saying that they are machines. We are just using a metaphor. They are like a computer that is brand new, just out of the box, with no programs loaded on it, simply a blank screen, a blank hard drive with no software embedded. This is how children are. And for, as you know, the first 7 years of their life, they are being programmed by everything that they see and hear and think and feel.
Yes.
And so if they are spending more quality time with their screens than they are with human beings, they are obviously being programmed by what they see and hear. There are very few exceptions to this. Now, there are some children being born who are they are bringing in all of the insight and input and experience and enlightenment that they gained in their prior lives. This was not always the case. It is more the case now in the accelerations that are happening. However, with many of these children, they come into these that come in with carrying over or bringing in what their soul has acquired from other lives. They come into this new incarnation very talented, very gifted, very bright, very psychic, very claircognizant, and so on. And unfortunately, because this type of gifting is inconvenient to many of the adults in their life, perhaps even fearful or troublesome to the adults in their life, many of them are repressed or talked out of their gifts, such as the story of Harry Potter, who was forced to live in the closet. So it is important for aware and awakened adults, loving adults, when they spot these children, to encourage them with the truth of who they are. So let us go back to your question. Please restate your question again.
I don't remember the exact language, but I was thinking about any control that the reptilians or whoever, cabal or whatever language, you hear different.
Or you may call them demons.
Okay, yes. From what I understand, there's been a lot of things that have been done by different groups, VTs and all, to take away a lot of their power, quarantining and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so I was just wondering how that particular project is going. Have they taken them from have they knocked down the percentage of control from, say it was 70% down to 35?
Do you mean what is the Galactic Federation's stance in regard to reptilian activity? Is that what you are asking?
Well, I don't know if it's just the reptilians, because you hear different languages said about whoever's in control. But not just the Federation, but maybe the Palladians or the Artarians or Saurians or anybody else out there that may be trying to lend a hand to us on this planet.
Well, what we would like to say is, in regards to all these things, it's very important to center yourself in first-hand information. And be aware, this is a side note before we answer your question. When you say they are doing this and they are doing that and they are controlling, it is easily misconstrued. Others may not know who they are. And so this can cause some confusion and fear. But sticking to first-hand information, to answer your question, what is being done by various races to free humanity? Is that your question?
Yes, you could say that.
Well, we're doing it. What you are experiencing it. This is the primary way that we are. You see, we don't give our attention to them, whoever they are. We do have to engage them from time to time for various reasons, but it's not the first order of business. The first order of business is awakening those who have been subject to false ideas, thinking, constructs, and matrices. One who is awakened finds little tolerance for the deception.
Yes, well, that's an answer to it.
And so we spend a lot of time doing exactly what we're doing right now, which is sending messages to those who are listening, those who are seeking, those who are wanting to be free, those who are looking and searching for a better way, a higher way, a different way, those who are fed up. You see, those who have some vision or hope for something better than what they experience on a personal and a corporate and global level. And there are many myriads of these people on the earth. And so we put our focus on them, on supporting their awakening, not just with messages, but with energetic substance, light energy in their physical form, light energy in any thought that they entertain, which is of a higher vibration, light energy emanation into any thought that they entertain that is shifting towards higher truth, that is shifting out of deceptions of the matrix, deceptions of programming and false thinking. We support with light energy. We give them levity. We give them breadcrumb trails to follow. And when they get close, they get closer to the truth, closer to freedom, closer to awakening. We play that little game with them like you play with children. Oh, you're getting warmer. You're getting warmer. Oh, you're getting warmer. Oh, now you're hot. Now you're hot. Oh, no. Now you're cold. Come back. We do a lot of that. We do a lot of guiding in the etheric realm and in the 3D and 4D realm. We are constantly emanating thought forms, constantly, to those who are open. And also, we are influencing the material world in assistance to those who are awakening. So we don't bother much about the others, because you can't fight darkness with resistance. Sometimes there is a need for self-defense, but that is not our primary. We are offensive in nature. Always offensive in nature, because we are on the winning team. And why would we reduce our elevated consciousness to entertain a lower vibration?
Yes, that pretty much answered my question. So, did I hear in that conversation that there is some guidance, something like, I think this happened to me, I'm not sure if I made it up or not, or I've heard other people say this, like that when I would walk around in a bookstore, a spiritual bookstore, and a book would fall off a shelf in front of me, and I'd think, oh, okay, that book I need to buy. Things like that.
Certainly, the synchronicities are that people experience. People make comments about synchronicities. They are twofold. They are the person magnetically attracting what they want and need. And they are many times as well, we are influencing material world in order to provide assistance, which is well within our rights and well within our job description. And we do many things that change and shift the material realm, as long as we are not violating free will. And you might be surprised some of the things which we do, you might judge them as that we have violated the free will of an individual, but we would not. So we have different perspectives on that than you do. Because ultimately, every being in their soul desires freedom. And that we can always align with the part of your soul, the part of another soul that wants freedom. And so if we influence something in your material world, your thoughts, emotions, or relationships, or the physical aspects of your life, if we influence those to align with your soul, the freedom your soul wants, that is not a violation of your free will, because that is what you desire. You may not be aware of it, but we are in harmony with your innermost being. So you could say it this way: we know what you want more than you know what you want. And you could also say it this way: we know better than you what is best for you.
Yes, that's obvious to me. I learned that one a long time ago.
So when a parent is addressing their child, and the child, it is late at night, and the child is kicking and screaming and saying they do not want to go to bed, well, the parent doesn't quite believe that, because the parent knows better that what the child really wants is to sleep, to rest, you see.
Mm-hmm.
And so you wouldn't consider the parent as being controlling or violating the child's free will by putting the child to bed, now would you?
Nope.
And so if we have entered into a relationship with you, which in the case of yourself and your wife, we are all in agreement here together and assenting together that we are working in your best interest, and you are assisting us in the Federation, and also you have a dual assistance, an assistance to the Federation and then an assistance to humanity through this work that you are doing. So we are all in agreement together. So we might push and pull your circumstance a bit here and there, and we do it because we don't feel we are violating your free will. We feel that we have your permission.
You certainly do.
And so we are all in agreement together.
You have more than my agreement. You have my desire to have you do that.
And we are doing it.
I know.
So one of the things we'd like to address, which might apply, we will allow you to say yay or nay, may apply to you and your wife at this very moment, and may apply to many others who are listening. You are at a crossroads, the two of you, where you are withdrawing from influences of which you have partaken really for all of your earthly life. Various influences of the culture and media. And you are stepping back from those in response to what we are sharing with you and what you are learning. And as you withdraw from these influences, because you do not want to be unduly, what the work that you are doing to be undone through what you're seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, feeling. And so what that has created is an open space. And it feels like a boredom. Is this correct?
Yes, I think it is. I've been contributing to lack of energy. There are things that I could be doing, and I think I get bored because I'm not doing them, but I think I'm not doing them because of lack of energy. But I will say, since I started sleeping, since I finally got the whole bed thing straightened out, I have felt a whole lot better, a whole lot more energy, and much, much less that way. But yes, I understand and I believe that that is true.
So we will speak to yourselves and others who, as you withdraw from things that are no longer serving you, things with which your soul is not in alignment, things that the partaking of certain things which undermine the spiritual work that you have the intent to do. So as you withdraw from those things, there is an open space that feels like boredom. There is an absence of the old and a letting go of it, which opens up time for you because you're no longer engaging in those things. And so this is happening to many, 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 many light workers right now. And what we want to say is this: embrace the quiet, the empty, the nothingness, the boredom. For nothing new can come and fill a space while the old remains. If a person walked into a theater and every seat was full, then he would have no place to sit unless someone got up and left. And so the old must get up and leave to make a seat for what is new. And so many light workers are feeling this now. There is the old is getting up and leaving, but there is an empty space, and they don't know if anything new is coming to fill the emptiness or not. And so it's uncomfortable, you see. So maybe the old for them was reading endless fiction, or playing video games, or watching television, or chatting with friends. Whatever the old thing is that has left the theater, because this awakened being is now aware, oh, this is not serving me. I don't want this in my life anymore. It doesn't mean anything. It has no purpose. It's not aligned with my soul. It feels empty to me. And so they've let go of the old, but now there's an empty space, an empty seat, and they're not sure yet whether or not anything new will come to fill it. And so I'm asking all of you to be comfortable with this vacant feeling for now.
Okay.
And if enough of the light workers can embrace the letting go of the old and the vacant space that this letting go has created, if enough of you can do it together at the same time, there is potential for a radical recreating of the matrices. And something very new and very different for all. Not just for 1 or 2 or 100 or 1,000. So we would ask you just for a while in this next season to be very comfortable with feeling bored or vacant or not knowing. And if you're wise, you might even call this feeling spacious and expansive.
Okay, so let me just get clear on this piece. So if I was sitting inside, not really doing anything, but I really wanted to be outside, like today, and so I thought, okay, I'm going to go out there and clean up some leaves, or I'm going to go out there and do something out there because I really like being outside. Is that running away, or is that just...
No, that is wonderful. We are not speaking of those things. We are speaking of things that are not serving your soul, because they are activities which are impressions of the matrices on your psyche.
Okay.
And your being.
I understand. Okay.
We would say that it's rarely ever going to be a mistake to spend more time in nature or more time in meditation.
Yes.
And there are many who do not have the luxury of extended periods of time in meditation. But for those few who do, we are speaking to you now. If you have the luxury to spend extended time in meditation, you may do that for your brothers and sisters who are not able to at this time. And we count it. We will give it to their account, if that makes sense. We will credit it to their account. So those light workers who have that opportunity, please avail yourself, and you will find hours will feel like minutes.
I have the time.
And if you know a precious one who is awakening, a precious one who is awakening, who is working very, very hard in the system, working for their survival, and you know that they do not have the luxury of meditation, you might even say something like this: I dedicate this hour of meditation to Joe or Jane or Sue, and you may sponsor them, and we will credit your meditation to their account for their awakening and enlightenment.
Okay. It's a good idea.
We're glad you think so. We appreciate your approval.